warning for me, because this co-op in Ackworth is the biggest co-op I've ever been in. Now they're talking about building a new co-op, a bigger and better co-op, and I don't think that's...
No.
I think most co-ops are tiny little places.
Because it makes no sense, does it? They're saying they're keeping that one running whilst they build a new one. Then what they're doing with the land that huge one that we've got stands on.
Yeah, I mean, with regard to what Nathan said about a McDonald's or something like that, a drive-through food place, I would have thought, if that's what is, if that is a proposal, I would have thought there'd be very good grounds to object on traffic thing, because I mean, if you try to go towards the M63 through Pontefract past McDonald's at certain times, you can't move, so I would have thought there'd be good grounds for objecting on that. But I mean, John, we've got no powers, have we, except to request and ask for clarification.
That's when planning goes in. I flagged up that planning on the portal yesterday, I think it was yesterday. I thought, co-op, what they're doing here, not really knocking some trees down. I thought, that's I thought that would have been the start of it. But planning time, when they put in planning permission, that's the time that I don't think for a minute they're going to rebuild a co-op and then use the land for a sports centre or any other community asset. And I think this is a community asset, is the garden centre, even though it's not connected to Parish Council or to Wakefield Council or anything like that. So it is a private business. I know, but I think one of the arguments will be if they put planning in for things that aren't community orientated, then we can object as a parish council, but we can't do that until the planning goes in.
Well, what first blew my mind when I knocked that down was when I was put forward behind that, and I thought we were trying to get access through there.
Well, that's through Rosslyn. Well, they're going to come through Rosslyn Road, isn't that?
Yeah,
but that's unfortunately that's for the future. We can't do out about that until planning actually goes forward. So I think it's one to know.
Can I propose then that we write to the co-op group just to express our, I have no confidence that they care, but to express the parish council's view that it's a disgrace and not within their community-minded values.
So do you want to put that into a
whole letter? Give me 10 minutes. Just to instruct the clerk to write to the co-op group. Just want to elect a couple of councillors to actually sit and help Gemma. I don't think she needs help, but I mean, so it's actually words of counsel rather than... Yeah.
You could say, sorry,
No, just...
Are you just waving your pen?
Yeah.
If you can pull a proposal out of that garden, Gemma, that would be wonderful.
So you want me to write your proposals that I'm going to write to the co-op group? And then what's the basis of the community minded?
Expressing the council's concerns about one, losing a community asset that is the garden centre, Happy's Garden Centre, and also our concerns about the future proposals for the land. Is that cool?
Yes.
If we can start by saying, we recognise that the co-op's got a strong commitment to the community, so to start it off in that tone, and therefore we hope that these are our concerns, and we hope that the community commitment, from the co-op's community commitment, will be reflected in whatever the plan next.
I mean, that in the correspondence about this, there were some really good points made about the co-op being supposed to be a forward-thinking thing. When I was talking to Mr. Harpin this morning, he said he feels like a ghost that they've not contacted him at all. He's been pushing and they've not contacted him.
Who's that, John? Talking to who, sorry?
The owner of the garden centre.
Okay.
So,
Should we, Nathan, do we put in this as well about to try and stay in communication with them to update the parish council?
Yeah. With any future Plans.
Yeah.
So open communication
Yeah.
for the future. Okay, yeah, I'm happy to draft something up based on that. Did we want another councillor to...
So you're proposing, I can have a second, and Sean second that.
Should we use the proposer and seconder then to read the draft?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that okay, Chair?
Okay, so all those in favour of sending that through? That's 1, 2, is that everybody?
Is that everyone? Can't see one.
Any abstentions? Against? 1 against.
John, before we move on, some of the letters, a couple of the letters are asking specific questions, aren't they? Was any member of the council aware? What does that one say? Do we know what the co-op have planned? So and I think it would be good if the correspondence can just, I mean, probably do that anyway, Gemma. Have a note to say this is what we decided to
So
do.
all of those have been replied to already.
Okay.
But I will go back to them and I can provide a copy of the letter that we write to co-op if that's okay.
I don't know, this on top of Featherstone Road has been kicked out of the believe that now it's going to impact Christmas. To receive a proposal for an officer of Wakefield District Council culture grant of £1,620 and decide a course of action. This is item 147 and that's in your pack. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. I think though they also need to include Oakfield Park and Ackworth School.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind that the last art competitions we've done, there was only Oakfield Park and a couple of children from Milldown who actually joined in. So it'd be a shame if they missed out, I think. So
So,
we need to include all 5 schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fine.
Is it fine? Yeah, it's
We're doing the Ackworth
Ackworth
School.
Junior
Oh, yeah,
School.
yeah.
Yeah. It was Ackworth Junior School, Oakfield Park, and then the three other schools.
We have been doing all 5, so I'm not sure why that's not been
Yeah.
noted in here.
It says each of the 3 with the primary
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, I'm not sure it doesn't say the 5. But yeah, no, that's there. This is what we're proposing to council, so we can amend this easily.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
isn't- We've already been awarded the grant,
Yeah.
so if council want to proceed, so I can do
Yeah.
that.
Anybody else?
Just that I think, you know, we should, the parish council should offer what support it can to this. If you know, if they come to us asking for support, then we should offer it. There isn't a time. Is there a time scale?
There's no times on it.
So it does need to be completed by the end of Feb.
End of February this year.
Yes, so these
Right.
sessions will happen between now and the end of Feb.
Oh,
So this is what this
isn't it?
This is what this proposal is for, yeah. It was just one of the way that it runs the culture grants is you get given the deadline to accept the grant if you want to, and then there's a time frame to run it in. So this really is the first one we've ever entered into of this, so it's kind of a trial, but that has concerned me.
Would the schools come here?
I'm just trying to, there's a mixture, so the adult ones,
Schools.
Mm-hmm.
it's a mixture, there'd be some here and some at the schools.
So this, can I just ask, this is promoted by Wakefield, then it's not...
Only the grant and the title of the grant is promoted by Wakefield. The work would be done in-house through Emma. So this is Emma's proposal as to how she would run
Right.
the
And,
grant scheme programme.
and is this doable in the next 6 weeks?
Just about,
Just about.
yeah.
She's confident she'll do it.
She is confident she'll do it, yeah.
Okay.
But that's why it has to come through to council to see if that's what we want to commit to with other things we've got on at the moment, such as strata handover and things like that. The culture grants do run all year round, so we can apply for it again at a later time.
But would you lose this money?
This one now, yeah, we would lose this
to
one.
lose it,
Yeah.
At least try, perhaps. Oh, sorry. No, sorry.
Well, I think one, if you've made a successful application, it could be a great shame to turn it down. How many families can attend the family workshops?
There's no limit to the number of families that can attend. It's just more so about, my concern probably is getting the engagement in such a short period of time to getting families into attend. And ultimately at the end of this, what we will have as a parish council is artwork. That's what we're looking for. The grant money isn't a value to us. It's more about community networks and being more engaging with the community, and then having some artwork to display in our community centres, including our lovely new community centre.
And also engaging with local artists as well.
Exactly.
Sort of creativity in the community.
This is more about engaging the community than money, hands down.
Could we do something like postcard sized flyers, like 4 to an A4 sheet, and hand them out to all the users who do come in the centre already this week?
Once this is, if council approve this, I've got paperwork in the office to go down tonight and sign and send it to council, to Ackworth Council. They will release the money, and then as of tomorrow we have to start advertising the event straight out. We can do that.
Is it realistic that we're going to get artists to come and lead these sessions at such short notice?
Emma has already done a lot of the prep work, so she has already contacted Ackworth-based artists who will help and support. So we've already lined up the artists that would run the classes. And again, that's why it's so detailed, this proposal in what Emma's proposing that we'll do with the lino printing. It's more about actually getting the bums on seats in the classes to make it a success. Emma has said she would love it if councillors can attend as well and do art in the community with the community.
Some of the families we meet at the Saturday craft thing would definitely be really keen on this. It's just a matter of, in fact, some of them left their names, didn't they?
We have got a set of people that we can contact to get rolling, and we're not, like I said, it's tight, but we're not. I wouldn't have put it on the agenda if we were going to fail.
It would be nice to have like a big display board with all that stuff on at the new community centre.
And it feeds into the art project of the summer, which is Ackworth Heritage and Community.
So with the addition of Oakfield Park and an Ackworth School as an amendment, can I propose that we accept this and we move it forward from a provision? So can I have a second for that? Oh, take your pick. All in favour? Thank you.
When you get the email from Emma to say, do you want to attend the session, please say yes.
Okay, thank you. Right, 148, motions requested by councillors. 1481, to receive a proposal from Councillor Balfour that the Parish Council agrees in principle to provide a hearing amplification system in the council room subject to approval of the cost. The report on viability will initially be presented to the FNGP committee. Sarah.
I don't really want to say much about this because it's, it's self-explanatory really. Just that I'm not expecting the full works for hearing loop because one, they're expensive, and two, I understand they don't work very well, and but not all hearing aid users can tap into them. But I do know, on good advice from the chair at the end of the table, who had on good advice from an audiologist, that you can get quite compact Bluetooth devices, not expensive, they just sit in the middle of the table and then you connect your hearing aids to them. And it's not about, certainly for me, it's not about amplifying the sound, it's about clarity. Because when there's a lot of noise going on, I just can't make out what people are saying often. So
I've done a little bit of research on this. There's about 6 different types. The loop is something that hearing loop is what we've fitted at Queen's Mill, and it's a waste of money. absolute waste of money, because most people will wear hearing aids and it doesn't attach. Bluetooth is the way forward, and there are little devices like the size of this phone that you can put in the middle of the table, and you can just, or you can get directional microphones on which everybody just attaches to there or speaks into. So there's lots of different things, and the prices go from I think 160 quid to 350 quid. So it's not like a loop system costs thousands. We can do them cheaper.
So I did a quick bit of research on the internet, and the loop system, like it's there, 700 to 1500 quid, aren't they?
Yeah, they're expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, but just thought if it is a little Bluetooth device, it might be that it can be used by other groups. If we've got groups with more, well, you have to be able to do hearing aid, with members who need it, it's another sort of, I wouldn't say selling point, that sounds too commercial, but another accessibility feature that we can advertise as having for other groups to use as well, make the most of having it.
Do we have any requirement under the Disability Act to provide this sort of things to allow people to access things?
Not that I'm aware of the top of my head, but I can certainly look into it as part of this.
Right. And I can talk to who deal with it in the office.
In terms of exploring costs and things like that, we think we'll get our admin to do a sort of initial look through it, and then it will come through to me apply.
And if we did it by local, would this also be accessible to members of the public? Because we get a few hundred public that's there.
I think that was what
And anybody, if you've got a Bluetooth device, presumably you can just look into it.
There's something called a Widex, which is just basically a little round thing with different ports in it, and that that's in the middle of the table. That's I think about 160 quid. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there are things like that that could be used in maybe heritage group meetings or other places.
It's just occurred to me, John, that we might have to change our behaviour, because it probably pick up every rustle and every chance somebody puts a pen on the table, but we'll find out, won't we?
So can we say that we approve in principle to investigating? That's your proposal?
Yeah, that's my proposal, yeah.
Have we got a second? Caroline's second. All those in favour of that? That's everybody. Yeah, thank you. Okay, 482 to receive a proposal from Council Barker. The Parish Council agrees that all employees to whom it is relevant will be paid the real living wage.
Okay, sorry about this, I was on a roll before after Christmas. Historically, a long time ago, the Parish Council, Ackworth Parish Council, passed a resolution that our employees, again, those to whom were on the sort of the relevant pay scales, would be paid. It was when there was the basic wage, the minimum wage, and then there was the Living Wage Foundation that then did a different calculation and produced a figure that there was a living wage. And at that point, we agreed to pay the living wage to our employees who were on that scale to which it's relevant. Since then, the language has changed, and I believe that the government's now started talking about the living wage, which was the minimum wage. So there's now the real living wage, which is different as far as I understand. And I think for us the two things have kind of got muddled and subsumed, and I know Jem and I had a conversation about it. But what I want is to make sure that our employees are paid on the higher rate, what is the real living wage, rather than the government minimum wage, which I think is now called, is now renamed as the living wage.
Why is it not already on real living wage?
Yeah, okay, so it's just one employee. So we run two different contract types. We run the National Joint Council's contract, which we've got 5 members of staff on, and we run the rest of the team. What Sarah said was when it was reviewed, it was known as Foundation Living Wage, and that's now changed to the Real Living Wage. So they've been captured in the Real Living Wage. What's happened because the increase that's happened this year was over 6%, which wasn't predicted by the National Joint Councils. The lower bands, the scale points on the National Joint Contract wage, they've not caught up as quickly because they've not had as big a percentage increase. We have one member of staff on the entry National Joint Contract wage, which means they are not at the real living wage, whereas the others on the National Joint Contract are.
Could I just ask, is our graveyard maintenance guy, is he classed as a member of our staff?
Is he classed as a member of our staff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's, our cemetery attendant is a member of our team.
Yeah. Because I think if it were quite a few, you'd have a fit precept and also a budget, wouldn't it? But if it's only one, it's not bad, is it?
Yeah, he's only the one.
What's the actual difference between the two?
About 60p an hour, roughly. I can give you the actual figure tomorrow.
No,
but
it's
it's around that.
that.
Yeah.
It's £1.24
The actual between what? Sorry,
between the minimum wage and the.
so none of our staff are on minimum wage. We don't run the minimum wage. We run the National Joint Contract and we run the what was foundation living, and it's changed to real living. But there's just one person that's been caught out on the National Joint Contract, and the difference between their current salary and the real foundation, the real living wage is roughly about 60p an hour. The other 4 members that are on National Joint Contract are on higher scale point bands, so that they're not impacted by this. It is something that I have reported to the people that look after the National Joint Contracts, the association, and it's something that they are looking into, which will is next year's pay reviews, but they can't do anything this year on it. Was that helpful?
Well, I think this question is what actually will the cost be to us? What impact will it have on the budget?
So.
Also,